Hello, welcome to my latest painting video. This time it's from a reference photo I took a long time ago, I think around 8-10 years. I didn't have a painting in mind. It's of the River Usk in Wales, a really beautiful part of the country, and I hope you like it. On to the video. Thank you. First things first, and that's to block in the panel, getting rid of all the white. As usual, I'm just using a mid-tone that I found in the reference photo, and it really does help to do this stage so you get a feel for how it's going to look. Now onto the sky, as always, working background to foreground, and I've added the blue and done just some basic indication of clouds. I put the near white colour on and just use a blend brush to blur it into the background. I just saw a quick indication of the far hills. Now the technique I'm going to use on all the trees here are I put in the darkest colours first, not the absolute darkest but close, and then slowly build them up, going towards the highlights. I'm using a medium-sized flat brush here, and it looks like I've got the paintbrush square, but that's just because the handle's pointing to the camera and the camera's to the right. I'm actually holding the paintbrush almost at a 45-degree angle to the panel, and I'm just lightly touching the right hand corner of it onto the panel. You have to use a very light touch, or you get the full force of the bristles and make a great big splodge. No matter if you do that, you can easily wipe this paint off before it's dried. Had a little try of a rigger brush there, but I still went back to the flat brush, which I think I prefer. The leaves on these trees tend to clump together in what's almost like little balls, so I've always got that in mind when I'm trying to work out where I should put the highlights. I let each layer dry to a tacky sort of state before I put another layer on, and I'm using alkyd oil colours here, which are fast drying oils. If you paint thin like this, they're touch dry in an hour or two. So this painting has been completed in lots of little sessions with a sort of hour or two apart. Now coming forward into the painting, next is the river. It's a very fast flowing river and it was quite murky. I think the speed of the river churned up some mud and silt. So the reflection is a sort of brown version of what it's reflecting. I did a very basic reflection first, and I'm just starting this tree on the left while the river dries, because I'll put the detailed ripples on afterwards. This tree is the main focus, so I will do more layers on this than anywhere else. Every layer is just a little bit lighter than the one before. Now waiting for the tree to dry and back onto the river and doing the ripples. See, I'm just painting wavy lines in the right colours, and it gives quite a good impression of a fast flowing river. But I'm not being a slave to the reference photo and trying to copy it exactly. Now the tree's dried, it's back onto another layer, still not the highlights. While that layer dries, get some paint down onto the foreground grass and little mud banks. I had to be very careful here not to put my arm in the wet paint below. Right, final highlights go on, and when I finish this, it didn't have enough contrast, so you'll see I'll go back and darken the shadows of the tree up, like here right now. Darkening the shadows just to help the highlights pop a bit better. There's only short grass in this foreground, so I'm doing lots of very short little stabbing motions with this wide brush. I'm not going into extreme detail in this foreground. It's not the focus of the painting, so it's just an indication of what's there. And there we have it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed and you'd like to see more, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.